Well, I feel good about having done that, although I was a little bit nervous to do it. You know, there's some people, Resto Dan comes to mind, who can do just amazing things with motors. I saw him take a Chevy with a cracked block and weld it up with a stick welder, and or maybe it wasn't a stick welder, but whatever it was, he welded it up, put it back together. It was fixed. I'd be a little nervous about welding on an engine block and expecting it to work, but he just plowed right through it, did it just fine. That's kind of the way I felt about drilling these holes. I'm always a little nervous about drilling a hole in an engine, because if you drill too far and drill a hole into the motor, you're done for, you know. But that worked out real good, so I learned something, gained a little more confidence, and heck, next time I do this, I won't be quite so nervous, I guess. Probably not a bad idea to be a little nervous when you're doing this kind of thing, because all you got to do is go a little too far and then you've made a big mistake. So probably good to be careful. Anyway, now that that's done, and I screwed a couple of these bolts in here and just tested them, and I went ahead and cleaned the threads on the other side over there. Somebody asked me the other day, what would you do? One of those bolt holes acted like it was a little bit stripped, but it was actually the bolt that was stripped. But somebody asked me, you know, what would you do if with that stripped bolt hole? I told them, drill it and tap it. It's about the only thing you can do. So that's what I just did. Lost my Allen wrench now. Dang. Here it is. So I'll clean this all up and then put the gaskets on there. Oh, I'll change these little doohickeys and put the gaskets on there, and then put the valve cover on there, and then we'll see what we think after that. Okay, I put a thin layer of gasket seal on my gasket, and it's down in here, and I have my bolts in place. I've got my holes lined up, and I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes and just kind of hopefully stick in place. In fact, I think I'll go in the house and warm up, have a cup of coffee, and chill for a little while, and then come back out here. And when I come back out, I will put my valve gasket on and line up all the holes, and probably let it sit for a few minutes too, just to let the gasket stuff have a few moments to kind of solidify a little bit, and then I'll tighten it down. Okay, there's my new valve cover. It's on there for now, and we'll call it good. I'm gonna not do a thing to it except let it sit, give the gasket sealer time to harden up, and then I'll come back out here next time I have a day off, crank this baby up and see how she does. Alrighty then. I guess I ought to talk about some of the difficulties. I had something back there, I don't know what this gizmo is, mounted to the firewall. It was right in the way when I went to try to get that on there, so I had to unscrew all that crap. I got a little bit of my gasket sealer on different places here. I didn't do a very perfect job. Also, this is a 1/2 inch nut on this bolt right here, and there's not room to get a socket down behind there between that nut and the valve cover, the new valve cover, to tighten it. So I sort of finger tightened it right now, and I guess I can go back in there with a screwdriver and a hammer and tap it on there gently. They don't tighten very tight. And of course, there's a nut all the way on the back of here that you really can't see and you really can't get to, and I might try shining the mirror over in there just to make sure that that's down about as snug as I can get it. I'll come back and tighten them all a hair bit more after it sets. With that said, I'm going to go to the house and call it a day as far as the outside work goes. Still, I got a cold, as I said earlier, and this cold weather ain't making me feel any better about it, so I'll go back in the house now. See y'all.